Well, hi there. Warm welcome. You're watching Blueprint Explosive Exclusive and I'm Meghna Deka. Now, viewers, all of us have had more problems when we go out for that cinematic experience. The fact that our tickets are cheaper and our popcorns are more expensive. For us to go to a movie hall, it is going to set you back by about 1,500 rupees per person. And India, which is a cinema-loving country, every year there are around 1,900 films which are being released across all languages, across all states, be it Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, Kannada, Bengali. The list is absolutely endless. Close to 2,000 films which are being released, but how many of them are being accessible? How many of them are being affordable? In recent years, especially since the COVID pandemic, the number of people who are going to theatres has literally dropped dramatically. So what's driving the audiences away and what can be done to bring them back? Well, exorbitant ticket prices and the rise of OTT platforms have dealt a massive blow to cinema halls. To win back the moviegoers, here's an interesting, novel way of approaching it. You have the Karnataka government, which has capped the film ticket prices at 200 rupees. Yes, you heard me right. In Karnataka, now onwards, if you want to watch a movie, it's going to only cost you 200 rupees. If you're in Bengaluru, and let's say there is Bahubali 3, a Christopher Nolan movie, or the next Marvel blockbuster, whatever it is that you enjoy watching, if that hits the screen, you will not pay a rupee over 200 rupees. That's how affordable Bengaluru and Karnataka is making it. You can watch it in 2D, you can watch it in IMAX, you can watch it in 4HD, or even with a recliner seat. But 200 is all you gotta pay. Well, the public, of course, is delighted. Everyone's hopeful that now there's going to be more audience in the theatres. No more do they have to now shell out 500 rupees, 700 rupees for a ticket to enjoy the film. Of course, to 1,200 rupees here in Delhi as well in some of the fancier cinema halls. Karnataka, however, interestingly, isn't the first state to put a cap on movie ticket prices. Let's tell you how there are several other states, all of them in South, which have this kind of a cap. For example, Karnataka, as I was just telling you, a 200 rupee cap. There is Tamil Nadu with a 150 rupee cap. Plus, of course, you have your GST. Telangana is 295 rupees cap. Then you have the state of Andhra Pradesh, 177 rupee cap. Interestingly, as you must have noticed, all of them are southern states. Southern states are leading the charge when it comes to making theatre experience more affordable. But what about the other states? Look at some of the other states. None of these states that you may be living in perhaps have it. For example, you have Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Gujarat, Maharashtra, West Bengal. All of these big states, none of them have any cap on the ticket prices that the cinema owners are going to be levying. Only down south do you have this kind of a cap which is there. So if you're a moving buff, but you've been avoiding going to the theatres and waiting for films to release on OTT after 3 to 4 months, then the decision is for you. After all, just one cinema hall visit used to empty your wallets. That's not going to be the case anymore. For example, let's say you want to go watch a movie. What does it take? Well, you, of course, will be buying a movie ticket, which can be somewhere between 300 to 600 rupees, can go all the way up to, let's say, 1,200 rupees as well. That is just the movie ticket. Let's tell you what other costs that you are going to be incurring. Popcorn, 200, 400, 500, you name it. If you want to have caramel popcorn with the GST, it will be much, much higher, of course. Then you have beverages. Of course, you'll buy your Cokes, your Pepsis, your Sprites, 150 to 300. And then there is going to be your parking charges. Let's not forget, you're going to take a car, your scooty, your bike. You're going to be giving parking charges as well. The overall there then comes to about 700 at the minimum. And it can go all the way up to 1,400 for one person. So the Karnataka government's decision, many have said, is going to take care of this problem. It has, however, ruffled the feathers of the big theatre owners. We have one of them right here on the show who is going to explain to us the business side of running a movie hall. But the theatre owners are not happy about it at all. And you can perhaps understand their concerns. After all, there is a reason why tickets at IMAX or 4DX are much more expensive. For them, it's not just watching the movie, it's the cinematic experience that they are giving. What else are they giving? They're giving you this immersive experience, comfortable seating, you have recliners, you have lazy boys, you name it. You, of course, also have premium sound quality, so you can enjoy that at a better and improved quality. Your food, your beverages, all of that is going to be delivered right to your seat. It's almost like sitting in a restaurant with 5-star amenities, is what they say. Now, the 200 rupee cap on film tickets is joy for Janta, but at the same time, it is rather tearful for the theatres. So is this move logical or a bad attempt at correcting something that does not need correction at all? Because many people say we are willing to give in that much. We pay a whole lot when we go to restaurants as well. So why cap it here? Let's remind you, what are the pros? What are the cons? Let's quickly sum it up. The pros, of course, is that movie watching becomes much more affordable. Anyone can do it. You could be a student, you will still be able to afford watching your favorite movies. The con is that the revenue loss for the theatres and distributors has to be factored in. Pro is that it encourages public to visit theatres, but there is no incentive to invest in premium experiences, which some of these movie halls do give. Then the pro is that it helps tackle the growing OTT trend that we have seen, where people are just busy sitting at home watching it on OTT rather than coming to a movie and coming for the theatre experience. The con is that big budget films will struggle to earn. After all, who doesn't like to see the biggest stars of India on the silver screen? That is the dream, isn't it? But you won't get that in an OTT. Can an OTT movie really afford the big stars of India? After all, theatre owners may not be delighted by the movie, but it does fall in line with what top stars of our film industry have been saying. From King Khan to Bhaijan to Kejo, everyone has come up and advocated for cheaper film tickets. Let's tell you what they've been saying. For example, Shah Rukh Khan has said cheaper theatres to make films more accessible. So it's been a big yay from him. Then you have Salman Khan. He said a cap on film and ticket prices, popcorn, beverages, all of that is required, not just on film tickets, but also the popcorn as well. Then you have Karan Johar, who says that movie watching experience has become very expensive, and he said that yes, there should be a cap as well. Then you have the likes of Ramya, who says 200 rupee cap will bring moviegoers back into the theatres. That has been one of the biggest challenges since COVID times anyways. Then you have Zoya Akhtar, who says people cannot afford to go to the cinema anymore, make them cheaper, is what all these stars are saying. You have Anurag Kashyap, who says no price ceiling has made movie going unaffordable. So there you have it, the biggest names coming in from Indian cinema, all of them saying make the tickets cheaper, bring the audience back to the theatres. Let me go across to our panelists. Today we are joined on the show representatives of both of them, the cinema goers, the cinema makers, as well as those who are going to be showing it on the silver screen. We have Bhavna Ramanna, who's joining us, an actor. Also, there is Girish Wankade, who's joining us, a senior trade analyst. He's a columnist, also a former PVR national marketing head as well. So he understands the business aspects of it. So Girish, I'm going to be coming to you. If you're just looking at the movie experience, the minimum it's going to cost us is 700 rupees if we don't even take the recliner chairs, and perhaps go all the way up to 1500. Is it justified? Why not open up the cinematic experience for everyone? A young student, someone who may not have too many resources, why not make it affordable and bring the people back to the theatres?
No, it was always a question of affordability, and that's why there is a flexible pricing in all the multiplexes. If you see, the weekend prices are high, and then the weekdays prices from Monday are less. Also, the morning prices are very less, afternoon are bigger, and then in the evening, night time, the prime times, they are high rates. So multiplexes, when they invest in various amenities and the luxuries like 4D or IMAX cinemas, there is certain investment. So on that basis of investment, they calculate their pricing. Also, they give certain amenities, certain quality of sound. It's more of a cinema watching experience. So when these are the offerings for a cinema, obviously it has to be kept or dealt with the cinema owner or the exhibitor to decide its pricing. The pricing has to be decided by the cinema owners, by the distributors, by the producers, by all the by all the people who are associated with the filmmaking. If government is keeping a cap on a cinema. Now, if it is a cap of 200 rupees for a multiplex as well as single screens,
Right.
I'm telling you, first of all, single screens will die, because if it is 200 rupees ticket and I have an option to go to multiplex and a single screen, I'll go to multiplex. So it has to be considered. It has to be thought over. It has to be decided what sort of offerings we are doing. And if a multiplex...
But Girish, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you increase the number of audience, your business model itself is going to evolve, isn't it? Instead of getting the handful of people who can actually dish out 1,000 or 1,500 rupees for one cinematic experience, now you have 10 people who are willing to pay, let's say, 300 rupees for that.
Of course, if ticket rates are less, people will be more. But when there is a cap, every cinema goer wants the food and beverages also, which has to be offered at a reasonable price. So if a multiplexes are kept on a cap, the investment which they have done on their luxury, they will try to compensate that investment from the prices of beverages, from F&B, which is again a
that's an interesting one. So you are saying our popcorns could cost us even more? With GST, of course, which we are paying, God forbid, if you like caramel popcorn. But with GST, then even to recover the prices of the recliners, it's going to come from your beverages, the drinks and the food that you're going to be ordering. But Bhavna Raman, it's a very interesting one. When we see the North versus South divide here, we were just explaining it to all our viewers. You have all the southern states. You have the states of Telangana, you have Andhra Pradesh, as well as Karnataka. Now, all these southern states have a cap. But we also know there is more audience. There's more fandom, if we can call it that, in cinema. Cinema is a lifeline down south. Of course, it's very popular in North India as well. But they may still manage to propel those kind of ticket sales, those kind of numbers in the fan following that some of these stars have down south. Do you think that it would be a North versus South divide, that in North India, it may be harder to acquire and ensure that you get and recover the money that you spent on making that movie if you cap your tickets at 200?
For me?
Bhavna.
Ma'am, here I would like to clarify first. As Mr. Girish was mentioning, it was a government's point of view, and then it was a government of Karnataka which came forward to put a cap on this. But that is not true. It's actually a demand by all the distributors, producers, and everybody who was related to the cinema industry. They were the one, directors and the whole union of cinema industry. Everybody came forward, and they were the one who pleaded the government of Karnataka to put a cap on movie. That's because when it comes to Karnataka, Karnataka has always been a land of cinemas for all the languages across the world. This is not a hub for just the Kannada films. And hereby, let me just tell you what has been happening since many years, ever since the multiplex has come in. The prime time slot has never been given to the Kannada films at all. It has never been given to us. Even now, Mr. Ajay Raw's movie, which was Yuga Purushva, which was released just a month before, and then even his movie was taken off just soon after release of the week itself. So prime time, we have to hamesha hum log ko jagda karna hi hai prime time ke liye, and everything that we have to fight. And Karnataka, as Bangalore city is not Karnataka, right?
Absolutely.
The whole of Karnataka has all kind of, we have 2-tier cities and 3-tier cities, and then we have middle class and lower middle class people. So just because that we cannot forward people just because we are giving these kind of facilities. This was my opinion very much in the beginning of the era of multiplex itself, because we know that per head it's costing you nothing less than 700 to 1,000 rupees. And as Mr. Girish was mentioning, that food and beverage, and all the multiplexes are extremely strict about it. You cannot carry your water, you cannot carry your eatables, you cannot carry anything there. You have to buy everything there itself. There is already a compulsion there to buy their own product which is available there in the theatre. And whereas in individual theatre that was never a problem. You can carry your snacks, or probably you can carry your water if you want, and then things like that, you know. But then they are much more lenient about it. So there has been in Karnataka, and we had subsidy price earlier for the Kannada films alone. So all the Kannada films were capped for 100 rupees earlier, before this. Now, because it is 100 rupees, obviously no multiplex will give you, will be happy to have a Kannada film to be released in the multiplex because he is not earning much of a money out of Kannada films. So, isliye kya kar rahe? He is only giving us screen only in the happy hours. He is not giving us in the prime time at all. So now because of a demand which was created by the industry, that is when the Karnataka government, Mr. Siddaramaiah, as a chief minister, he has taken a call with all the ministers, information board and everyone together. Milke in logon ne decision kya liya that there is a cap on all the languages, not just one. Because agar Rajinikanth ji ki film release ho jayenge Bangalore mein, to फिर it will go up to 800, 1000, 2000, 2500 and black mein jayega.
But Bhavna, here's the problem. People are dying to see a Rajinikanth. There are people who want to see Salman Khan, Shah Rukh Khan. But it's very expensive to get these big superstars. What about the distributors? They also need to spend that kind of money to get those eyeballs. Do you think that in the long run, if we cap the movie tickets, if the returns get lower, it's going to be harder to afford it? Would that happen?
Here it is not right. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but then it is not right to blame it on the stars. And the stars started taking that kind of money only in the recent past, not in the earlier past, not before 15 years back. And as per the market price, once the distributor or the producer knows the market price, and this is what we are going to get, and then this is what we are going to fetch on the project, obviously they are going to talk about it, and no actor, I'm sure, no stars in India, whether it is male star who are superstars and who are the main people who can really grab the attention of the whole market, I don't think they're that rich.
Fair enough.
Because everybody, for every star and for every director...
Fair enough, you made a very valid point. All the stars, as we were just seeing, have come out in support of this move. So, Girish Wankhede, I'm running out of time. One quick question. If you open up your movie theatre experience to more and more people, cap it, get in more audience, can you then counter the OTT platform? Because that seems to be one of the biggest threats to the very existence of theatres now.
Yes, of course. It will definitely give the tough competition to OTT platforms because people are now going to OTT only because the rates are high. If the rates are less, people will go with the families to watch films in cinemas. They will have spectacular films, larger than life films, as well as the content-driven film also on bigger screens rather than watching at OTT. Obviously, the less price will give a tough competition to the OTT platforms.
Absolutely, and perhaps that's going to be the way forward. At the end of it, this is just Karnataka. There are a handful of southern states. We'll have to wait and see if this template is also replicated in the northern states. And that'll be an interesting one to see, to watch a movie for $200. Well, that's going to be the dream after all, to watch it all on the silver screen and to have that experience, isn't it? Well, we'll have to wait a bit longer, I guess, where we stay. But thank you so much, Bhavna Ramanna, for joining us here on the show, as well as Girish Wankhede. Well, with that, we are going to be slipping into a short break. Don't go anywhere. We return in 2 minutes with lots more news and updates. Stay tuned.